It's fantastic being out on the water. I mean, you get that freedom of being out there with the elements, using all the natural environment just to basically test yourself and put yourself at your best.
We've sailed for nearly 30 odd years now pretty much. Dad bought a little mirror dinghy and we sailed at Sunderland Yacht Club and just got initiated that way and just gradually did more and more sailing on different yachts and different dinghies, fireballs and flying 15s and all sorts really, so it was a really good start in sailing.
My role on the boat is tactician, and I do the jib as well. So I guess I make the decisions on the boat, which it's controversial because I sail with two guys, but you know they're great and they accept that that's my role and support me in it, which is good.
My role is skipper and helmsman, so I just sit at the back and drive and go where Hannah tells me.
It's a pretty big mainsail. I mean, there's quite a big load on the mainsail compared to some of the other sails, and in 25 knots it's a bit of a handful.
It's designed by Bruce Kirby, who designed the laser dinghy, very popular, and it's a very similar shape underneath, apart from it's got 400 kilos of lead pretty much stuck on the bottom of it, and it's 23 foot long, just under 7 metres. Quite a big rig for 3 people, designed for 4 or 5 large American guys to sail, so the rig's quite powerful, and it's a nice stable platform in a breeze, and you've just got to grab hold of it and chuck it around the racecourse like a dinghy, and they perform really well.
My disability is a double baloney amputee, so the amputation came from meningococcal septicemia. I was 18, felt unwell one evening, and then basically got taken in the hospital, and then got sedated and woke up for sort of 3 or 4 weeks later really, and with blackened legs, and they had to amputate them, otherwise the blood poisoning would have affected the rest of my body.
Yeah, I can only wonder or speculate what it would have been like if I had 2 arms, I guess. I probably still would have sailed because that's what my parents did and it's something I love. But I don't know if I'd have got as far as I have without my disability, if that makes sense, because it sort of spurred me to just prove people wrong, you know, people that were like, you never do it, you got 1 arm.
I was serving in the Air Force about 19 years ago now, and I was out on my motorbike heading back to work, and went into a ditch, did some somersaults and broke my spine. So I'm now paraplegic from the middle of the chest down really, so yeah.
Do you remember much about the event?
Oh yeah, it was quite cool in a weird sort of way, you know. Wouldn't want to repeat it obviously, but you know, it's one of those things that kind of sticks in your mind a little bit. Now, each person has their own individual needs, and I've got a bench across the back of my boat and a bar that we use and transfer. And Steve and Hannah are pretty awesome anyway, so they have minimal, they don't have any aids to be honest, to support them on the boat.
This new knot, someone tied it and it came undone just as the rig was in the air, but luckily it went down into the mast rather than falling everywhere. Rigging really depends on how fast we're working, but normally it's 2 or 3 hours. Today hopefully it's going to be a bit quicker because we've got craning booked in at 11:30 and it's now 10 o'clock, so got a bit to do. Okay? Yeah.
We've just come back from Ireland, tuning with the Irish team, trying to sort of establish some new rig settings to try and get a little bit quicker.
Oh, that was very gracefully done. Oh, Jesus.
Our role off the water is looking after the rigs and all the tools and all the sort of engineering based bits really.
I spend probably 80% of my time in this car at the moment. It seems to be my home. So I'm just waiting for John to hitch up on the back there. I can see what he's up to thanks to my lovely camera. We're really very lucky. We're supported by Volvo. So we have 3 very lovely Volvos, including this lovely XC90 which does all the towing. Yeah? John's hanging on the back of the trailer. I'm sure there's something health and safety about that. We are slowly heading towards the crane pier, and we're going to lift the boat into the water and see how the army boys are getting on, and then we're going to have a quick rig up and then a lunch break, and then we're going to go sailing.
The London 2012 Games was obviously, you know, we're up for it, home games, full of expectation and, you know, really wanting to do well for ourselves and the team and everybody who supports us.
Basically, by day 3, I think it was Monday, because we finished on the Thursday, we had damage, which was found in the morning by our boatswain when he swam the boats, because we're not allowed to crane out during the regatta. So he would jump in the water and wash them down. So we found some damage, a report was filed, and long story short, we got permission to crane the boat to view the damage and see what was wrong, basically. So we went racing, came back in, lifted the boat, found some damage, got permission again to repair the damage, and that was it as far as I was concerned. At that point, we all left and went home for the day, and yeah. Next thing we knew, we were in the protest room and dreams were being shattered, quite literally.
Basically the crux of the matter was that there was a misunderstanding between one of the games officials and one of our support staff, and it went to a jury, and the jury found that we broke some rules and we gained a penalty.
It transpired that the boatswain who worked for the team had been rude to an official, as it were. Whether that's true, I don't know. We weren't there. It was nothing to do with us as far as we were concerned. So it's a tough one because it's his word against their word. So it's anybody's guess really what actually happened. But the jury felt that we had been in the wrong, so they penalised us by 4 points, which put us out of the bronze medal position.
And that's nothing that was to do with us per se, and it's just quite frustrating and quite annoying that, you know, just there had to be a lot of people make the wrong foolish decision for us to lose a bronze medal, basically, which is pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean, our governing body, the RIA and the British Paralympic Association, both felt that the boatswain himself should have been penalised, not the team, because we hadn't done anything to actually cause the issue. So I think they felt there had been some wrongdoing. So they took the case to CAS, which is the Court of Arbitration for Sport, in the hope that we could get it all overturned and get the medal back that we'd won on the water, because at the end of the day, we'd sailed the regatta, we'd got the results, and we were in the bronze medal. And the actions of another guy, one of our team supporters, affected our medal. So they took it further, but unfortunately CAS decided they didn't have the jurisdiction to rule on it, so the decision didn't get overturned, so no medal for us, unfortunately.
You know, it took us a while to come to terms with it because of it actually took 9 months, the whole process, to resolve itself as well in the Court of Arbitration of Sport. So yeah, it was hard, but you know, I think, you know, time is a healer, as they say, and now we're looking forward to Rio 2016.
I think we're still very proud of what we achieved, because we achieved our goal of winning a medal, and to have that taken away is pretty tough, really, to celebrate after.
Recover? I don't think we'll ever recover. I mean, you know, we had a Olympic medal taken, a Paralympic medal taken away from us, and I think that'll always be in the back of our heads. But you've got to turn that around into something positive. You can't look back all the time, and you've got to focus now to new challenges, and we've got to use it as fuel, ammunition, motivation, whatever you want to call it, to basically nail Rio and come back with the right colour there. well, the plan this week is we're sailing with the Army lads, who are a development team on the programme, and they are sort of coming on board to sort of be the second boat in the squad really, and just we're just going to go out and basically try and sort of develop their techniques and improve them a little bit, but also get some time on the water ready for our trip to Hieres in a couple of weeks' time.
I want to go to Paralympic Games and get the gold. Obviously, I want to be the best in the world at it. That is the dream. I have to helm because missing a hand, it's quite hard to pull sheets in, especially whilst you're missing your legs as well. I mean, Hannah does really well. Credit to her. I got injured in Afghanistan in 2009, July, and I've lost 3 limbs. Yeah, been that way ever since. Yeah, I get asked that quite a lot, and it is fine completely. I mean, it's been the best 5 years of my life. I'd class that day as one of, well, weirdly to say, but one of the happiest days of my life. For the processing years, it's been great. I never thought I'd be like pretty much a professional sailor.
Afghanistan, back in 2010, it was an explosion. Device exploded underneath me and took my legs off above the knee. Yeah, it was a bit weird. I kind of sat in my hospital bed, and I'd actually said to a lot of my soldiers, because I had a troop of soldiers out there, and I said, you know, if anyone gets injured, that's it. You're going to go and get Paralympic gold. Otherwise, I'll lose complete respect in you. And I went back to the things that I knew, and sailing was something I knew quite well and I enjoyed. So I thought, if I'm going to do a sport that's going to be quite full on, then I best do one that I know I'm going to enjoy. So I went for sailing. To get out there and sail with them and get some tips off them and you know, and feel like we're being brought along quite quickly has been a real boost for the team, and I think we've come aware of a big list of things that we want to do to the boat that will hopefully put us in good stead for the future.
I was in the army. I got blown up in 2010. I lost both my legs. They're already at the top of the fleet, and we're sort of sitting middle third maybe, so it's good. It's a very competitive fleet. There's a lot to learn from it, even from the bottom of the fleet all the way up to the top of the fleet.
The Army lads are brilliant, you know, they're so funny, you know, they bring great comedy to the group, and, you know, it's a really nice squad to have around, you know, good fun, good laugh, but everybody's got the same goal. They appreciate us bringing them up to speed and sharing everything with them, all the information that we've learned, you know, all our campaign knowledge and all of that, you know, they are looking forward to Tokyo. That is their goal, so they're going to learn from us, but at the same time they're going to spur us on to Rio and the medal we're going to deserve by that point.
We've just finished breakfast this morning meeting, and there's no wind, so we're going to do different jobs. I'm off to the gym and yeah, lift some weights.
Oh, the fitness is a huge part of it. Like, if you're not fit enough to complete 3 races in 25 knots in a regatta, you're going to come last. That's the bottom line. So we have to be tough enough to survive a big regatta. And, you know, our regattas last a whole week, you know, 11 races. It's a long old slog, you know, it's an endurance game. So fitness does come into it, and the Sonar's a big boat. At the end of the day, you've got to be tough, you've got to be strong, and that's why we do it to this level.
Different legs and different things. These are my weightlifting legs. Hannah keeps threatening to paint my toenails. Not funny. Yeah, really good. Good to be in a different environment, and haven't done one for a few days, so it's body's feeling pretty fresh, so it's really good.
We are on Weymouth Beach and we're about to do a boot camp session with my trainer Charmaine, who works here. So a bit of a rush as we've just literally got off the water and rushing to get changed. I haven't even got trainers, but it's close enough, so big good fun anyway.
They do everything that everyone else does, so it doesn't make any difference. But yeah, they crack on just as good as everyone else, if not better. So yeah, they're good.
How are you feeling?
Like death, but it's all good fun. Next round. Do I look skinny? Yeah. Perfect.
Not at all, really. No, there's no difference between the Olympic sailing squad and the Paralympic sailing squad. We work very much together, if you like. I mean, the guys are out in Palma now, but there's no racing for Sonars in Palma at the Princess Sophia Regatta, so we're just training here instead. So it's it's the same. We all train and race and do the gym and do the classes and everything with the other guys.
We're all the same. We're all doing the same thing. We all race on the same race courses. We all go to the same regattas. You know, the ISAF World Cup now incorporates the 3 Paralympic classes. You know, it's all the same as far as we're concerned. We're just missing bits. The wall is my inspiration wall, so I just write up things that inspire me, things to remember. I have to keep very on top of our boat insurance because our boats are quite often in very random places. Like at the moment, Tantrum, one of our hulls, is in America, so she has to have coverage over there and she's being transported a lot, so it's just sort of keeping track of everyone and where they're actually worse than the boys. Boats are harder to keep track of. The thing with the Sonar class is there's a lot of boats scattered around Europe, but in America there's a lot bunched in certain places, especially sort of in Florida. The reason we spend so much time over there is A, because it's chuffing freezing in Weymouth over the winter and nobody wants to freeze to death trying to sail, and B, there's a lot of boats over there who are really strong in our fleet, so most of our winter is spent over in Florida, which is a huge bonus for us because it's A, very warm, and B, it's great sailing, so that's why we spend so much time over there.
So how is everybody in sunny Florida? It's really enjoyable. You look a bit damp there, John.
Yeah. I'm washing the ship.
Is it just from washing?
Generally, yeah. Oh, and the rain.
And the rain.
We noticed the rain.
I think we can pretty much see that considering the camera's soaking now.
I do a lot of the towing. I have a towing licence in the team, so yeah, the last one I was quite sedately driving up the road. Next thing I know, John's got 2 cashew nuts up his nose, Simon's snoring his head off, and Steve's throwing stuff out the window. It's like driving children basically, so yeah, but I love them, they keep me awake anyway.
The 3 of us are quite different, but also are quite similar in certain ways, and I think those differences actually build us into a stronger team, and always going back to the similarities, which keeps our friendship and our bond as a team pretty strong.
I think I'd miss the team atmosphere and the constant busyness. I love being busy, it's one of my favourite things, so I think I'd miss having something to do every hour of the day.
Best part of my job, yeah, just going out sailing really, and just racing around the race course, being with Hannah and John and sailing with your mates, and just trying to be the best sailor I can be.
I think we've been very fortunate to find the three of us who want to have the same goal, if you like, to win a Paralympic gold medal or gold medals. You know, it's not a finite thing. We just keep going until we decide when we've had enough.
To run a Paralympic campaign 24 hours a day, basically, you've got to be willing to give up your life to do it. If that's what you want at the end of the day, you want that medal, you've got to be prepared to sacrifice to get it. You know, you're not going to go out and get drunk at the weekend, you're not going to see your family, you're not going to see your friends, you know. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg, quite literally, to go sailing, and yeah, you've got to give up to get it.